What's up, everyone? How we all doing today? Happy Friday. Oh, Remy wants to come say hi. You gonna say hi? You want to join You want to join? Remy's gonna join us today. Right? You say, oh, thank you. You gonna say hi? You say hi? Say hi. All right. So today we are going to be doing 2021 bowl predictions. Oh, yes. Yes, you want to give the licks. I know. Let's adjust the camera. But if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that follow button or that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. Turn that bell on so you get notifications every time we do go live with our daily weekday fantasy football show. I am Big Country. This is my co-host Remington. And we're going to tell you what our bold predictions are for the 2021 football season. This time, next week, we'll already be one game into the season. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Dallas Cowboys next Thursday night. So that's the first game of the season. So, but before the season kicks off, we got to have our bold predictions. We got to know what's going on, right? Right, Remy? Yeah? All right, so my first bold prediction of the season, oh, hi, buddy, is coming out of Green Bay, quarterback Aaron Rodgers will repeat as league MVP, and he will throw for 50 touchdowns this season. He was close to it last year. I think he had 48 or 49 touchdowns on the season. He's been reunited with his man Randall Cobb, his favorite slot receiver ever. Randall Cobb is now back with the Green Bay Packers. They still have, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league right now with Devontae Adams. And MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, has been rising on the lead on the draft boards. He has been making a name for himself in this during this preseason, and I think he is going to be a great, hi buddy, great wide receiver too for Aaron Rodgers this season. What are you doing, Remy? You can't be punching me in the face. Also, you got an Aaron Rodgers who wants to show the Green Bay Packers what they're going to be missing next year once his contract is up at the end of this season. So, my very first bold prediction of the season is that Aaron Rodgers will repeat as MVP and will throw for 50 touchdowns this season. Dude, you are like all over the place. You want to get down? You want to just stay like that? You want to just stay like that? Okay. Can you give high five? So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, 50 touchdowns this season. Don't lift my arm, please. Number 2, my second bold prediction of the season, has to do with this man right here, Derrick Henry. I'm hearing a lot of people down on Derrick Henry this year. Oh, he's not going to be able to repeat what he did last year. He's not going to be that important in the Tennessee offense. He is the Tennessee offense. B, he's going to have a better season this season than he did last year. There has been no signs of him slowing down or regression whatsoever. I'm tired of everybody breaking Derrick Henry down. Derrick Henry will run. Let me rephrase that. Derrick Henry will score more than 22 touchdowns this season. Hi. Derrick Henry will score more than 22 touchdowns this season, and they're not all going to be rushing. He will have some receiving touchdowns in there this year. I do feel that they will be using Derrick Henry more in the passing game this season than you have seen in the past few seasons. Yes, I know he has stone hands, Trust me, I'm a big Derrick Henry fan, but that's not the reason why I picked him here. I more picked him because I think too many people are down on him this season, and I think he is going to be a top. I mean, he already is a top wide receiver, but I think he'll finish the season top 1 or 2 because they are going to start utilizing him in the pass game. You're going to see Julio Jones and AJ Brown spread the field, which is going to allow Derrick Henry to kind of slip out left or right, get those little dump offs by Ryan Tannehill, and God bless whatever defensive back that needs to try to tackle Derrick Henry all on his own, because he will be thrown out of the club like a freshly young 21-year-old who thinks he's a big tough guy and is going to step up to the bouncer. He's going to get tossed out as quick as he walks in. So my second bold prediction of this year is Derrick Henry will score 22 plus or more. Well, that's what plus means. 22 or more touchdowns this season. Before we hop into my third bold prediction of this year, make sure to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, turn that bell on so you get a notification every time we do go live with this wonderful fantasy football show. Make sure you come back every day so that way I can help you win your fantasy leagues. We all want to win our fantasy leagues. We all want that little extra cheddar in our pocket at the end of the year. We want to be able to get our names on that trophy or get your championship ring or your belt and have bragging rights for the entire offseason and the whole next season and forever, because you can hold it over everybody else in your league and be like, hey, I've won a title. What have you done? So now my third bold prediction of the 2021 NFL season is coming out of the Washington football team, and that is Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin will be a top 5 wide receiver this year. I believe as of right now, he is just outside of the top 10, but he will finish as a top 5 wide receiver on the year. And why is that? Because he has a huge upgrade in quarterback. He has a quarterback that's going to play 17 games, knock on wood, as long as there's no injuries. And in Ryan Fitzpatrick's career, he really hasn't been injured that much or ever. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, will be a top 5 wide receiver. You will see him up in the likes of Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Nuke, DeAndre Hopkins, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf. Those are going to be your top 5 wide receivers. So the third one on my list is Scary Terry will be a top 5 wide receiver at year's end. You're welcome. Make sure you get him in the 3rd round. That's where he's been kind of going lately. And that's a steal. Absolute steal. Blue Crew, how you doing, bud? I will answer your question in 1 second. I'm just going to get through these bold predictions, and then I'll answer any questions once I get through the bold predictions. But great to see you here, Blue Crew. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you hit that give me that thumbs up. Give me that like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button. It would be greatly appreciated. And once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to do a live stream for you every single day. It's just unfortunately right now, because I'm not at 1,000 subs, I cannot do live streams from my mobile phone. I have to do it from right here. Blue Crew, thank you for that sub. Thank you for subbing to the channel. I appreciate it. But once we hit 1,000 subs, I can bring my phone with me. If I get stuck at work, I can still give you guys the episode every single day. Right, Remy? Tell them to sub. Good. Come on. Hit that sub button. All right, my final bold prediction of this year. I want to give you guys one of each position. I gave you the quarterback. I gave you the running back. I gave you the wide receiver. And now I'm going to give you tight end. This tight end had a very tough season last year. He kind of fell off the map a little bit. That was more because of his quarterback play. That was more of the whole structure of the team. And that, if you haven't guessed it yet, that's Mark Andrews. I know Mark Andrews kind of right now is going from being picked from third tight end to seventh tight end, but Mark Andrews will be a top 3 tight end right there with George Kittle and Travis Kelce. He will push out Darren Waller. He will regain his top spot. It looks like Lamar Jackson is healthier. Hopefully Lamar Jackson can kind of stay away from the whole COVID protocol that he got himself into some hot water last year. And, the wide receivers on the Baltimore Ravens still aren't the greatest. Their running backs are kind of falling apart. They got J.K. Dobbins and Tyson Williams. I think his last name is Tyson Williams. But make sure Mark Andrews is going to get a lot of targets from Lamar Jackson this year, whether they're bombs up the seam or quick little dump offs when Lamar has to scramble out of the pocket. So Mark Andrews will finish as a top 3 tight end along the likes of Travis Kelce and George Kittle, and be right back at the top where he was a season ago. Last season was tough. He had an off season. He was also kind of injured a little bit last year, if I'm not mistaken, so that kind of hurt him. But Mark Andrews will be a top 3 tight end. So run it back real quick. Number 1, Aaron Rodgers will throw for 50 touchdowns this year. Let me correct that. Aaron Rodgers will throw for 50 touchdowns this year. He will repeat as league MVP. Derrick Henry will have 22 or more touchdowns from receiving touchdowns to rushing touchdown. Scary Terry McLaurin will be a top 5 wide receiver at year's end, and Mark Andrews will be a top 3 tight end at year's end. You're welcome. We'll come back to this at the end of the year. So we'll see how right I am. This is why they're bold predictions, because we don't know that's going to happen. But I hope you guys have a wonderful fantasy football season. I'm about to answer your questions right now if you're in the chat. And if not, if you're watching this at replay, I hope you have a fantastic day. Blue Crew, thank you for that sub, my man. Half point PPR, 12 team super flex. I need to trade Chris Carson for either Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Fitzpatrick. Any thoughts for who? I have the option to start 2 QBs. My other QB is Brady. So you need to trade Chris Carson for either Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would not trade Chris Carson for you. Who are your other running backs? 12 team super flex. Who are your other running backs other than Chris Carson? Because Chris Carson he's that dead zone running back, but you have Chubb, Trey Sermon, and Mike Davis. And you have Brady as your QB1. Who's your QB2? Hi, buddy. Andy Dalton. Okay. So I could see why you want Justin Fields, because Andy Dalton's probably going to play one game, and then Fields is going to come in. I think you're giving up too much by trading Chris Carson for one of those 3 quarterbacks. So it is a 12 team super flex. So that means everybody has at least 2 quarterbacks on their team, if not 3. So you're kind of more looking down the lines of you're kind of really getting like around is Sam Darnold available, or even what's his name in Indianapolis, Carson Wentz? Are any of them still on the waiver wire, or is it like the waiver wire completely dried of quarterbacks right now? I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Go play with your bone. You can go play with the blanket. I would hate to see you give up on Chris Carson, because honestly, out of those four running backs right now, Chris Carson's your number 2. You're gonna want to run Chubb and Carson. Still kind of not really know. I don't really know what Mike Davis is. I mean, Mike Davis will probably be your flex. Trey Sermon's gonna take a little bit of time before he's in the fold. He's gonna be splitting time with Mostert, so But if that's the only, I mean, I honestly I would try and see if you could trade. I mean, is it a keeper league? Is it a dynasty? Or is it a redraft? Dynasty. Okay. So then you're gonna want Trey Sermon. If honestly, to tell you the truth, if you could trade Chris Carson for Mac Jones, maybe like do they have like a low end wide receiver you could pick up? Just kind of, it's always good to have more wide receivers. If you could trade Chris Carson for Mac Jones and maybe get like another piece to go with Chris Carson, because Chris Carson is kind of, if it is a dynasty league, Chris Carson's getting up there in age. Mac Jones is young. I wouldn't go for Fitzpatrick, so it'd either be Mac Jones or Justin Fields I would go after for Chris Carson. If you really needed to move one of them. Honestly, to be completely honest, if you could move Mike Davis for one of those pieces, it might be better. What about Big Ben? I think what I'm hearing, what they're saying is Big Ben looks, he looks like he's slimmed down and he looks healthy. And we all, like, Big Ben's kind of MO is home games, he's lights out. So but Big Ben's probably going to retire at the end of this year. This is probably going to be his last year. His contract is up at the end of this year, unless he decides to come back for one more year and they sign him for like a 1-for-1 or something like that. But I can't see. If it's a dynasty league, I wouldn't give up running back for a 1-year quarterback. If you're gonna want somebody that's gonna last, you're gonna want somebody, more younger. Tyrod Taylor on waivers also. Tyrod's going to start. If Big Ben is on waivers, I would pick him up. Absolutely. But I wouldn't trade for Big Ben. Tyrod Taylor, he's going to start. He's going to be the starting quarterback for at least 5 games in Houston. I know Houston drafted this rookie who, what everyone's saying that he should have just gone back to college this year and but you got to remember, Tyrod's going to have to throw the ball a lot. Houston's going to be behind games quite a bit, so that might not be a bad pick for a QB2. It's not ideal, but if you need it, like, say Dalton, is, he gets replaced week 2, week 3. Tyrod Taylor wouldn't be a bad, kind of a placeholder until you can find somebody else. Honestly, like the way that running backs are just so thin, I wouldn't give up so quickly on running backs that are going to help you. All that, New York, how you doing? How would you trade for Kyler Murray and Kyle Pitts, Gabriel Davis, and give away Ryan Fitz, Keenan? I'm assuming that's Keenan Allen, right? James Robinson and Higbee. 2 QB, 3 wide receiver league, half PPR. You have Hopkins in your team. So you have Hopkins, and you're looking to trade away Ryan Fitzpatrick, Keenan Allen, James Robinson, and Tyler Higbee for Kyler Murray, Kyle Pitts, and Gabriel Davis. I would not do that because you have Hopkins and Keenan Allen. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think, is going to have actually a good year. And he is going to be the starter for the season. They already said that he's going to be there unless he gets hurt. I think him and Terry McLaurin are going to have a great rapport, and they're both going to benefit from each other. Hi, buddy. I hear you. I do hear you. I see you. Sorry, the puppy's being a little cray here. My team is Big Ben. You have Big Ben and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Your wide receivers are Hopkins, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Jacoby Myers. Running backs Kamara, Miles Sanders, and Damian Harris. Honestly, the best way to think that, because if you have Big Ben, so you have Big Ben and Ryan Fitz, so you kind of went with a little bit of older quarterbacks. Your wide receivers are great. If you have Keenan Allen, Hopkins, and T. Higgins, and then how many flexes you got? One or two? I mean, Brandon Ayuk is your flex, and your running backs are Kamara and Harris, to be completely honest with you. I think Harris is going to have a great year, especially now that Mac Jones is at the helm. I think Kamara is going to be, Damian Harris, one flex. So you run 2 QBs, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Honestly, I don't think by you giving up James Robinson, Keenan, I think you'll be hurting yourself more than you'll be helping yourself. And honestly, I think Tyler Higbee is going to have a good year in Seattle. I don't think you need to make that trade. I think you're good where you are. Yes, your quarterback's a little bit more on the lower end of the draft board, but they're still have great upside. I mean, we've seen it the past few years that Ryan Fitzpatrick could easily throw for 4 touchdowns. We've seen Big Ben throw for 4 to 5 touchdowns in a game. So I think you would be hurting your team more than you would be helping your team there. I mean, you have yourself a good problem right now with being able to pretty much match up play every week with your running backs and your wide receivers. You can put the players in that have the favorable matchups, and you might be on the road to winning your league there, my man. So guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button. Greatly appreciate it. If you could give me a thumbs up, it would mean the world to me. And turn that bell on so you get that notification every time we do go live, which will be weekdays from 4:30 to 5 Eastern time, unless I get caught at work, and then we'll just push it to the next day. So and I'll always post in the Discord whether I'm going to miss an episode or not. So I got a Discord link down in the description. So you make sure you click that as well. And so that way you can get notifications over there as well when I do go live. And little sneak peeks of what the episodes are going to be for that day. I drafted QB late. What do you think about Kyle Pitts compared to Higbee? Kyle Pitts is going to be... He's going to be the replacement in... Atlanta for Julio Jones. He's going to have a good year. It's a half-point PPR, so he's going to get points, but like the only thing is we don't know what the rapport is between him and Matt Ryan. The same thing, we don't know what the rapport with Higbee and Russell Wilson is, but coming out of camp, Russell Wilson talked very highly of Higbee. And Russell Wilson really hasn't had a solid tight end to throw to since God, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. I think he's in Chicago right now, isn't he? He's kind of bounced around the last couple of years. Why can't I think of what's his name? But I mean, now Russell Wilson will have. Oh, that's right. Gerald Everett is in Seattle. Higbee's in... Actually, no, I think... Actually, that's even better. Higbee... That's right. I did mix those up. They did both play on the Rams last year, though, so I knew that much. Higbee is still in... Actually, that is even better for Higbee because he is in L.A. now with a quarterback that likes to utilize his tight ends quite often in... Matt Stafford. So, and they kept Tyler Higbee in LA and let Gerald Everett go. So that way, because they want to build that offense as Tyler Higbee as their number one tight end. So actually, I think Tyler Higbee is a great pickup, probably a late round pickup too. So I think you got good value on him. So I wouldn't like spend up to get Kyle Pitts. Unless Kyle Pitts fell to you in the right spot, I think Higbee's a good pick for you. You're right though. I did mix those two up. So, but if we don't have any more questions, I'm gonna wrap this up right now. If you guys do, I'd be more than happy to answer it. We are getting to that 5 o'clock window. If not, feel free to ask them in the Discord. I do have a fantasy football tab right in the Discord, so you can ask them there and I can answer them right there for you. We will be back on Monday at 4:30 Eastern time. I'm going to take the weekends off until the season starts. Probably once the season starts, a half hour before kickoff on Sundays, I will come on and do some quick last minute start and sit answer your questions if you guys have any. Until then, appreciate Blue Crew and all that New York coming in and asking some questions. It's great to see some new people in here, and hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Be safe this weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day if you have Monday off, and we'll see you on Monday. And if anybody has any drafts this weekend, good luck in your drafts. And just remember, that's your first step to winning your league. If you guys didn't see my 5 tips to help you while drafting, make sure you go back and rewatch that live stream, and you'll get my 5 helpful tips while drafting. That's going to help you win your league. And as always, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.